Greetings, savages. Welcome to another edition of the Creme de la Corp, where I look at 5 war room posts I have never seen before, and I dissect them and offer my unfiltered commentary on such posts. So here we go. First post is called Getting Over a Shit Attitude / Mindset. I think we've all been there in sales. This is written by Bulldog, who immediately in their post spells the first word wrong. Lastly, I've noticed myself, he meant lately, I've noticed myself falling into a real shit mindset. I'm worried about what I don't have instead of going out and getting it or being thankful for what I do have. I'm jealous of teammates' success instead of being excited for them and the team. Guilty. And I'm watching out for people to fuck me over. And worst of all, doubting my abilities as a salesperson. Okay. How do we get over that? All right. This is tough because we've all been there. Sales is an emotional roller coaster of the ups and downs. And it's like, sometimes I want to blow my brains out. And other times I'm like, I'm the fucking king. You know, we all know how it goes. Okay. The best reps I've seen in my life, you wouldn't know if they were going to President's Club or if they were about to get shit canned. All right. So I'll start there. I think it is super important to separate your number against your self-worth. And that's a really hard thing to do, especially when you're early on in your career. So the key for me getting over it is to have other things that you like to do. You don't have to go home and work. You don't. Guess what, fam? There's a bajillion sales jobs out there. If you're not successful in the one you're in and you're absolutely miserable every day, go find one that's good. Last I saw a Wall Street Journal article, 700,000 available sales jobs, all right? World needs us. World needs us, fam. Who'd have thought? Not me. But I was going to say, so working out, video games, hard drugs, therapy. Not hard drugs, guys. That was a joke. Or was it? I'm just saying, I do go to therapy, and it's phenomenal. That has nothing to do with the hard drugs, even though I could get prescribed. Anyway, there's a lot of outlets, all right? The key is just to not let your life be consumed by sales, which is a really hard thing to do. Now, the top post here, or the top response says, I found that taking time each day to be grateful, like actually acknowledging and thinking about all the positive shit in my life, really helps me get out of a funk. I try to do it first thing in the morning, and then again before I go to bed. Chubbs Peterson, great comment, whoever you are. I love that. You know, it does sound it's a little rah-rah for me, but being present and acknowledging what you do have, honestly, you know, can help shift your mindset. So let's move on to the next one. This was called Sour Patch closed a deal for $15K to the CEO. Okay, this was a deal save. This deal was a save. I inherited this account from customer success to reset expectations and get them back on board for annual commitment. They were previously month to month and chose to cancel without feedback. I re-engaged with the CEO. He stated, if you can do X and Y, we will commit to an annual agreement. Easy, right? Wrong. This person says, we couldn't fulfill either of his two requests, one based on a carrier restraint and the other one based on their CRM's unwillingness to provide API documentation. Yeah, feels like a Salesforce thing. I'm not blaming Salesforce, it just feels like it would be one. I work diligently reaching out to their CRM's dev and support team to try and get my hands on any documentation that would help support the integration. Friday, I get a dreaded email from the CRM team explaining that they won't support our connection. I called the CEO, knowing I had to deliver bad news. He took a minute and he said, he'd still like to continue doing business with us and commit to an annual agreement as both requirements were out of this sales rep's control. Labor of love, fam. Fresh ink on Tuesday never felt so good. Sick. Okay, bottom line here, moral of the story. Honesty, fam, it can still work. Like, some people just want to do business with good people, all right? You can say no. It's okay that your product doesn't do stuff. You don't have to be like, it's on the roadmap. Like, people want to buy from people. They don't want to buy from some asshole who's just going to say yes about everything. So I'm going to move on from that. The next one is called Driving Urgency in Deals Without Discounting. I find myself discounting quite a bit to get deals end of month at a quarter when I should be doling other things to drive, doing other things. Another typo. Salespeople, man, I swear. End up losing out on quota, retirement, and money, and it adds up by end of year. What are ways to drive urgency? Ooh, this is a tough one. It's a tough one, right? Because if we say, like, you got to do something by X date, and then they come back and they're like, I actually want to buy today, you're not going to be like, well, I said so. I mean, you could. That's big dick energy if you want to do that. If you're a way over quota, you can be like, look, I told you, no discount. At that point, if they're coming back, they're probably going to buy, so kind of baller to hold the line. But Mitz 2 says ultimately comes back to discovery, digging into the client's evaluation process, laying out the roadmap that leads to an agreed upon date. So it's kind of like a work back plan, right? You know, discovery call, date completed, demo call, date completed, product deep dive 1, date completed, product deep dive 2, date completed, legal, security, pricing, procurement, blah, 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 blah. Work it backwards. What's the day we're going live? And we work that shit back. I mean, one of the things that I would do is I would have my manager change his title or his email signature to like implementation manager. And if I knew it was like end of month, end of quarter, I'd have him send out an email, something to the effect of, hey, so-and-so, we've got you in the implementation queue. However, we can't get you guys started without the signed PO back. Please let us know, you know, if that's going to happen or not. That is one way to drive urgency. I also, putting people on good account management teams, if you have that control, like I can kind of bribe people and be like, look, I'm going to get you the ballerest baller account manager here. if you know, you kind of speed their shit up. Doesn't always work, fam. All right. Fact of the matter is, a lot of times people you're talking to, shit's out of their control. Just is what it is. You know, it's hard. Different industries, you can drive urgency in different ways. But there is no silver bullet. If there was, I'd be rich and I wouldn't be talking to you assholes right now. Okay. The fourth post. Does stress help you succeed? Yeah, losing my fucking hair and my sanity. Hey, so this month has been by far the most stressful of my job. And also outside of it, I'm not here to vent to a bunch of strangers on the internet, even though that's exactly what they're doing. But it's been very stressful calling this month since my quota has been raised, along with various external stress inducing finding a house, buying a car, family drama. Blah, 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 blah. And this, of course, a very serious post written by someone named Cold Call Fart Boy. God damn it. What are you going to do? So, Fart Boy, the top comment says, stress can be positive for sure, but it can also take a toll on a person. Again, this kind of goes back to the getting over shit attitude and mindset. You got to separate. You got to find some decompression. You got to find some mental stability, which is hard to do in sales. Meditation, therapy. I've already recommended this stuff. Like Calm app. Get that shit. It's dope. Like 10 minutes before bed, shout out to the Calm app. That dude on there, amazingly calm voice. I was always someone who played better as an underdog. I always viewed myself as an underdog, and when I view myself as an underdog, I succeed more. So stress can be good, but too much of it, right, fam? It's a bell curve. There is a happy medium where pressure is helpful, but stress is not. So, you know, you got to find ways to exercise that shit and get it out. So I don't have all the answers, right? Don't look at me. I'm not a fucking therapist. Okay, the last one. What do you do to sound more confident on the phone? I say shit like, right? Because then they have to say, yeah, you know? I'm kidding. Well, I used to do that, and then someone told me I sounded dumb. Okay, so what do you do to sound more confident on the phone? I've been struggling with confidence for some time. I've gotten into Toastmasters, public speaking, very dope. I work on my script and questions that I ask, but I'd like to learn from y'all masters. What do you do? I've improved, but I'd like to go above and beyond. The top comment, the first sentence of this top comment by Kane Wolf just epitomizes life. And here it is. Remember that none of this shit matters. Think about that. You screw up a phone call. Who cares? A deal doesn't close. Nobody's starving as a result, God willing. Hopefully you're not. We're in sales. We're not putting, colonies on new planets or curing cancer. Any one result doesn't matter in the scheme of things, and you'll have hundreds, if not thousands of, more shots, no shows, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's the thing, fam. You just you gotta find your voice. You gotta, it helps to believe in your product. Right? You got to sell with conviction, and conviction is confidence, and confidence is also knowing that you can say no, and that you can say that you don't know, and you will go find the answer to something. All right. Like the last thing you want to do is babble on, because people can read right through bullshit. All right. There's like a theme today. It's like stress, urgency. How do you sound more confident? Like everybody's got their own voice. Everyone's got their own flow. You got to find what makes sense to you. And again, if you don't know the answer, say you don't know the answer. And that is okay. People will respect that shit. But that's it for this edition of Creme de la Corp, fam. Remember, none of this matters. Okay? I will see you next time.